Welcome back, everybody, to the Recipe Wednesday, where we make one recipe on a Wednesday. My name is Patrick Erskine, and what is up with food these days? I think it's awesome. I love what's going on with food these days. So hear me out. I believe we are low-key going through the second largest food revolution ever. Like ever. That's a really bold statement, so let me explain. I think certain technology, specifically the smartphone, is moving styles of food into more corners of the earth than ever before. To prove my point, a really quick food-focused history lesson. 1765, France, Boulanger, the first recorded restaurant in history, they sold soup. Early 19th century, Carême, the first superstar chef, pushing his style of food into every corner of Europe, evolving food from a strictly nourishing experience to a show. He was the first to start the food displays and ice sculptures. Escoffier brought service to the restaurant world and created dishes that are still famous today, like peach melba, consomme, and the dish Gordon Ramsay makes all the time, beef Wellington. And around that same time was the biggest impact on food, which was canning and preserving of food, which allowed food to go from one spot all over the world. 1810, super important, the most important. And then food in America stayed very stagnant, pretty much copied the French. Up until about the 70s, food looked kinda weird. And then the 80s, where you started to see America kind of create its own unique style of food, different than Europe. 90s were big. A lot more marketing, a lot of crazier food, snack foods, really weird stuff in the mainstream. And in the restaurants, you started seeing crazier stuff like molecular gastronomy, the science applied to food. And in the early 2000s, you have movements like the farm to table movement, which are still very relevant today. And now the food you see today. I believe the food that you see the most today has its roots in farm to table by being very honest, but is incredibly visually pleasing. Very eye-catching, very over the top, but has one major theme: shareability. The food today is not influenced by restaurants like it was in the past. It's now influenced by technology and shareability with the phone. And I don't know if this is as cool to you guys as it is to me, but I think it's really crazy. But I think this is like the coolest thing that's happening today, that this is gonna really impact all food. My aha moment was when I was in Asia, when I was in Thailand actually. They had a Starry Night smoothie bowl. And I was like, why is this, like this is what I would see like in LA. Like this is like a worldwide thing. This isn't coming out of restaurants, this is coming out of like sharing of food. And so, okay, I've talked way too much. Today's recipe, Starry Night inspired fruit bowl from Thailand. Let's go. All right, to start this recipe, coconut. Bowl of catch coconut water. Coconut. Top, bottom, 3 lines. First, get it wet. It's wet. Hold the coconut over the bowl. Get a big heavy kitchen knife, turn it backwards. Use the backside. 1 line, hit it. 2nd line, hit it. 3rd line, hit that. We've breached the seal. Cracks starting to form. Nice and gentle now. There's the juices. We got the juices. Get this warm. There we go. Coconut. Coconut milk. Strain that, drink that. It's good. We got 2 sides. Shallower side and deeper side. We're gonna use the deeper side. But put this to the side. Next step, grab a blender. Add 2 frozen banana and just a splash of almond milk. Save about half, throw that in the freezer. And then we're gonna add blueberries to this one to make a blue. Done, store in the freezer. The majority of it's done, but these fruit bowls are all about the garnish. So we have some fresh blueberries and fresh blackberries. The cool thing you see online are these cool frosty berries. How you do that is you just freeze fresh, not frozen, fresh berries, but it only works if you live in an area with humidity, so moisture can condense on the outside. So if you do live in an area that has humidity, this is what you do. About a handful of your fresh berries that you're gonna use, throw them on a plate and in the freezer until they're almost frozen. Frosty berries. We got 4 different smoothies, all the same ingredients, just tweaked a little. Banana with the blueberry. Banana, blueberry with a little bit of baking soda. Kind of changes the color to more blue. Regular banana. And then the banana smoothie with a slight amount of turmeric added, just to get a yellow color. All right, so now we got all the components we need. We just need to put it all together. Well, that's the recipe. It looks good, but it tastes even better. Let me know your thoughts on today's episode on the recipe. Did you like this kind of stuff? It's a little more modern than the traditional stuff, but I think it's pretty cool. I enjoy doing this kind of stuff. Trying to figure out what will work on this platform. But thank you very much for watching. If you liked today's episode, like today's recipe, definitely subscribe and like and do all that jazz. As always, keep cooking. Bye.